Well, hey, and welcome to another episode of Beatle Dustino, coming at you again today with yet another video. And we're coming at you again today with yet another one of these 2025 official tags for 2025. So I done the CD one about a week ago or so, and I said I was probably going to do a Beatles one as I knew there were a few floating out there. I think there was one already out there, but I didn't quite like that one as much. So, but there's a new one out there, and I wanted to try it out. So it's from Patricia with A Little Beatles Corner, and she's got the new, I guess, official Beatles tag for 2025. And I saw me and Mr. Mayo hopped onto this the other day. I saw his video, really thought the questions looked fun. Thought I'll get mine answered and out there for you. So we'll see my answers and responses to that after the intro. So yeah, I'm gonna. My CD tag was really long. I'm gonna try my best to make this a lot shorter. So sorry about that. On anybody that watched my CD tag and got bored with me talking about auxiliary ports or something, I don't know. Yeah, I went a little off on that one, but I'm gonna try my best to not. And as I'm going off on this, I'm gonna try to get going on it. But there's 15 questions here. Like I said, Patricia's questions seem really fun here, so I wanted to give this a try. But let's get started with the first question. And the first question is, basically there's 4 Beatles Christmas songs, or kind of related products to that, or at least, well, I guess 3 singles and 1 whole album, I guess. And actually, technically, there's a second single by one of the Beatles here. What is your favorite solo Beatles Christmas song? So between John's "Happy Christmas, War Is Over," Paul's "Wonderful Christmas Time," George's "Ding Dong Ding Dong," and Ringo basically has got the whole album with "I Want to Be Santa Claus." I really like all of them to a good degree. I made sure I did a Christmas playlist this year. I made sure that, I Want to Be Santa Claus was obviously on there, and I listen to that album almost every year for Christmas time. It's one Beatles solo album. I guarantee you, I know I'll be listening to it at a certain time, some point in December every year. But anyways, I also made sure to throw in different variations of Happy Christmas, War Is Over, Wonderful Christmas Time. I found several different variations on that, and Ding Dong Ding Dong I made sure to have in there too, because yeah, I do consider that. And believe it or not, I do think Ringo made another holidays one, Christmas and New Year's, because Ding Dong Ding Dong is really more New Year's. And I do believe Here's to the Nights, and he did release that right around Christmas time, New Year's, when that first came out quite a few years back now. I've always thought that felt like a very New Year's song. I had that in the playlist too. So, but anyways, I'm getting off the tracks here already. I'm only on the first question, so let's get back on the tracks and get to which of those 4 I Want to Be Santa Claus album, and I suppose pick a song off of that if you did go that route. But I didn't go that route, and this was tough because I really like both Happy Christmas, War Is Over, and Wonderful Christmas Time. I think they're just fun songs. You got to hear them over the holidays. And I'm going to show, because she just said to show, I don't have a single of it, so I'm going to show it. It is on the Give Me Some Truth compilation. Yeah, so number 18, Happy Christmas, War Is Over. Okay, so the second question will be to show your favorite Beatles album cover. And I wasn't sure if she just meant strictly Beatles or if it was anything outside of the Beatles or solo stuff, but I'm going to stick with just strictly the Beatles. And I've always been a big fan of this one, as I'm sure a lot of people are, but I absolutely love the Rubber Soul cover. I love the story behind the cover of them trying to pick it out, and the slide fell and it elongated their faces, and they're like, yes, that's the one we want, that's the one we want. And then how the font on the Rubber Soul is here, and I think I prefer, as the US album version, the Capitol album looked very similar. The only thing that was really different was it was more of a gold color on that instead of that orange. I think I prefer the British version of that. So Rubber Soul will be my pick for my favorite album cover. Third question is going to be to show your favorite Beatles colored vinyl or picture disc. Again, I wasn't sure if it was solo or could be included or not. So I'm going to do, this one I'm going to play kind of both ways, because I don't have a lot of Beatles colored vinyl because there really isn't a lot of colored vinyl for the Beatles. And I don't have one that's really truly favorite because they haven't done anything really that crazy. I do really like this this latest one, the Meet the Beatles that just came out, the Target edition. The blue is just beautiful on this, but unfortunately I don't think it ever shows up. Maybe if I'm holding, like, because getting the light from the hall there might show it there. But when you hold it up to the light, you can see the marbling in that, and the opaqueness that it's supposed to be. That is really cool. When you hold this up to light, it is just awesome. And it's one of my favorite colored vinyls on that, and I just love the color blue. This looks a lot like my car that I drive, very similar blue to that. So, and there's a reason why I leased a car that color, because I love that color. But in all reality, my true favorite one, if it's just any Beatles, is this McCartney 3x3. I know a lot of people didn't like this release, but I had to try until I got this one, and I love this color on it. It just is awesome. The blue and the yellow and the red, they look so good together in this splatter, and I love the fact that nobody's got the same. Even if I flip this, it's different from, you know, the A side to the B side. But I love this. I absolutely love this, and I was so happy. This is only the second one I've got. I've only got two. The initial one I got was the Romanian flag one. I thought, well, I'm going to take the risk and just buy another one and see what happens. I was so sure I was going to get another Romanian flag, but I opened it up and I got this, so I was very excited. I got to get the pie one now, I suppose, to complete the set, but I don't know if I'm going to take the risk of trying to just buy it straight out. I probably have to just buy it secondhand and make sure I get what I want there on it, instead of taking the risk of getting doubles on these other ones. But yeah, I was very happy to get this. I love the packaging on this one. This is probably the best McCartney 3 package. There's all the little Easter eggs and everything you find within this and all that. Yeah, I was really excited. My second attempt, I got the splatter one I wanted, even though all three of them look great. Moving on to the next one. Okay, and I think I'm gonna have to break out my singles collection box here for this one. But the fourth question is, show your favorite Beatles 45 picture sleeve. So single picture sleeve. So we'll pull this out. I really don't have a lot of Beatles 45s. This is pretty much my collection on it. And believe it or not, any spare ones that I get, I've been tucking in here, because there's room for, even with the 2 additional I got in there, I could probably safely squeeze in at least one more, because I've got 2 more stuck in there. But anyways, I'm going to show you, I kind of looked through the box here, and this was the one that I thought was pretty cool. This Get Back, Don't Let Me Down. I think that picture's great of them. Ringo's really doing something kind of goofy there. I love the font on the Beatles. Really cool. I love the colors on it too. Really just kind of pop. But I really like that picture there. So that'll be my favorite on that, and I believe this is from Denmark, how each one of these had a different country, and I thought that was really cool. And the fifth question, and keeping the singles box out because I got to use for a prop out of this, the next one is, of the last 3 Beatles songs, so Free as a Bird, Real Love, and Now and Then, what's your favorite, and rank them. Seeing as I decided to house my Now and Then standard black vinyl version in this box, so that is now in here too, and Free as a Bird and Real Love are a double A side on this that got added into the box. Go in order of your favorites on it, and I'm gonna go Now and Then. I think right now it's still got my my attention. I'll show you the other side because I think that would have been a better cover art. So that leaves us to the original 2, and I think I am gonna go Real Love. I've always really enjoyed Real Love, and this is really tough to say because I absolutely adore all of these songs. So that of course leaves us with Free as a Bird. We'll flip that over. That was kind of cool how they did that with this. You got the art on the one side, the art on the other side. But yeah, that would be my ranking of the 3 latest Beatles songs, the Threedles songs, however you want to say it. But Now and Then, Real Love, Free as a Bird. Let's move on to question 6, and it's, show your most unusual Beatles vinyl or CD. This one took me a bit to kind of figure because my collection's pretty straightforward. It kind of hit me on this, that I do got a pretty unusual one here. I picked this up at a record shop in Fargo, North Dakota, and it's a copy of Something New. And initially, you don't get much, well, you could kind of see down there, maybe. And I didn't catch that right away, but nothing, I mean, even that isn't too unusual. But this record has got quite a story, and I think that's what makes it unusual. So I found it at a record shop in Fargo, North Dakota, and I bought it almost as a pity buy, because I walked in there, I was expecting it to be, most of the record shops I'd been to up to this point kind of focus on the used side of the thing and, you know, vintage vinyl and finding that little gem in there. And this shop, I'd heard so much about it, heard that it was such a great little shop in Fargo, North Dakota. It was, what's it called? Orange Records. There we go. Had to think there. Downtown Fargo, North Dakota, Orange Records. So look them up if you want. I'll probably link their website in here because I'm sure they got a website. But I'd heard that they were a great record shop. And I was expecting, like I'd found at the other handful of record shops I'd been to up to this point, because I really didn't get collecting records until 2020. And I was expecting to walk in and, dig through the crates and find, some great old gems. They don't have much of a used section. So that's what I found out. And the guy working there really went out of his way to try to help me out, finding a Beatles thing, and this was the only Beatles thing that we found. I think there was a Paul McCartney interview disc too that was a unofficial type one, like a picture disc thing. And then this, and it seemed like there was something else unofficial that I tend not to collect unofficial stuff. And this was really cheap. I could tell it was really beat up, but I was like, I'm going to just buy it just because this guy came and helped me out so much. And there wasn't anything really in the new section I was really interested in. However, I do want to go walk in there again and see what's to see. But anyways, this is a copy of something new. That is printed in Canada. You might spot there on the back of the jacket. I thought it was pretty interesting. It's got an EMI sleeve. I don't know if this is the sleeve that would have came with it. I guess I'm not as familiar with the Canadian pressings. It has this EMI sleeve. It looks period correct. I'm not sure on that. But then I get it out and look on the label. Again, I totally missed up until recently. I think it was actually me showing this in another video. Somebody spotted that this was a Canadian pressing, but there you can see there, and you can see there's a label there that somebody stuck onto it. And this is where I think this really starts getting its story. But it is Miss Erla Ashman, 103 Bayswater Mount, Leeds 8, Yorkshire, England. So this Canadian pressed Beatles album of the Capitol Beatles albums from the 60s somehow ended up living its life in Yorkshire, England, and somehow very well-used life, because there's quite a few scratches on this. Like I said, I got it super cheap. It was $5, I think. So it's not like I was out a ton. Me just buying it. I more bought it to, thank the guy for helping me look around his shop there. I probably wouldn't have bought it otherwise, but it was $5. I'm like, whatever, I'll just pick it up. And I didn't even really notice this looking in the shop there, that all this part of it, I didn't notice it was a Canadian pressing. I didn't notice it had this sticker on it at first. I guess I noticed it, but I didn't pay that much attention to it. I was just like, oh, somebody put their name on it, whatever. It wasn't until I got home and really looked at it that I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting. Probably was purchased in Canada, moved itself over to England, and somehow found its way back to North America. Not far from Canada. I guess Fargo's only about 2 hours from the border, so not terribly far from Canada. So, I mean, not that unusual that I'd find a Canadian record around my area here. A Canadian record that lived its life in England and found its way back to North Dakota in the United States of America. I don't know. I think that's a pretty unusual record right there, and has got quite a story. So the seventh question is going to be, show a single with a better B side than the A side. Like I said, I'm going to need my singles box again. So let's pull this out. And not saying that the A side is bad on this, because I really like the song too. It hit me almost right away. This was the one I got thinking on. A Paperback Writer backed with Rain. I think Rain is a better single, a better song. Just so much fun. Ringo's drumming on that. As a matter of fact, we'll get it out and show truly the B side there. I think that'll be the last one I need the singles box for, so let's move on to the eighth question. Show a favorite Beatles song covered by another artist. And this one, I kind of struggled on. I really love Beatles covers. I do. I always got so entertained on Beatles, the Beatles channel on Sirius XM, when they would play, I can't remember what they called it. It seemed like I almost hit it every day on my way to work for a while there. The shift I was on, I would almost hit it about 5 minutes into my drive to work. They would always play a Beatles cover though in that time. And I remember they had a little intro to it before they played it. I can't remember how they said that, but the one song that really always grabbed me, and so much so I went out and bought the CD once I learned where it was from, because I was like, wow, she covered this song and what an amazing job she did. Unfortunately, I can't find my CD, but I'm still going to talk this one. I'll have the picture of it. I do own the CD. I have no idea where it's at in my house at the moment. But anyways, it is Golden Slumbers Carry That Weight by Jennifer Hudson, and it was on the Sing original motion picture soundtrack, the animated movie Sing. Just amazing. Jennifer Hudson's an amazing singer to begin with, but and I mean, she's an EGOT winner, isn't she? I think she is. So I mean, that tells you a lot about her right there. But yeah, and her version of it is just so cool. Like, I remember hearing it the first time, I'm like, I could see that Paul kind of intended it to go that way, but I never heard it until I heard that song. I'm like, wow, this fits it so well. The kind of gospel, all that with it, just amazing. She does a great job on it. One of my favorite Beatles covers. Would have never thought of buying the Sing soundtrack any other way. But when I heard that, I'm like, what is this off of, and where do I get it? And I went out and got it, and now it's somewhere lost in my house. So anyways, Sing soundtrack up there. That's it. I do have it in this house somewhere. So so number nine. Is that annoying that we do that every time? I don't know. I have fun with it, but whatever. What is a favorite song the Beatles covered by another artist? So kind of flip-flopping it. So another artist covering a Beatles song, now this time them covering somebody else's song. I'm going to go with, yeah, it is on the front here, so I don't have to pull out the record in that. Early Beatles here is what I'll use on it. But Twist and Shout, pull out my new in mono 1964 US albums in mono. But Twist and Shout, I'm gonna say is my current one on that that I'm gonna go with on that. So Twist and Shout will be the answer for that one. I know, kind of a generic answer, but it's what I'm going with there. I really like that. Now this next one, I think me and Mr. Mayo said this is kind of one of the most controversial questions on this. It was tough for me because I really like all the Beatles songs. I know there's weaker songs. I know there's songs I don't like as much, and that's going to be more the aspect of it that I'm going to go with is just a song I really don't really like, and the funny thing is it's off of some of my favorite albums. It's just one song off of almost every single one of my favorite albums. So the fact that it's my favorite album, yet there's one song on there that I just really don't like. Kind of go in an order when they were released, and we'll pull out my Rubber Soul again as the last track on Rubber Soul, Run For Your Life. I don't know if it's that I'm woke, and I get the fact that, this is an abusive guy to his woman, and, whatever on that, but I cringe every time I hear that song, especially nowadays. But even when I was younger, I was like, ooh, I thought the Beatles were kind of about peace and love and all that, and this is a pretty violent song. Having thoughts like that towards your ex or whatever. But yeah, I don't really tend to like that song, even though this does tend to be one of my favorite albums. And in the UK, it would be on Revolver, which is kind of the album that kind of battles Rubber Soul there for my favorite. I'm going to show a US version of it, though, which will be Yesterday and Today, and it's Dr. Robert. That's another song it's just never done anything for me. I don't know why. It just kind of drones on. Dr. Robert. Ooh, Dr. Robert. And I'm probably going to get hate on this. There's somebody out there that really loves that song. It's just never really done much for me, and I just, whatever. But that's going to be my second one on it. And then my third one, kind of the same as Dr. Robert. Just kind of, I don't know. It's a little dreary and too much on that. But Blue Jay Way, I also kind of wanted to, I did hit John with two, didn't I? Well, I was trying to be as I could with them. I could probably think of a Paul one if I did think about it, but Blue Jay Way is what I'm going to say on this, so we'll hit George with one on that. I've just never liked that. I think if I re-listen to it right now, for some reason, I think I'd like it a little more, but it just kind of and it is cool in its way, but that's just one that kind of stuck out to me as that. I know there's several on the White Album people would probably go for, but I really like Savoy Truffle, Piggies. I kind of get the social commentary that he's going with on those, so that's why I think I like those a little more. Like, I see through it more than just the childish lyrics that seem to be childish lyrics, but there's more. Blue Jay Way just kind of it just puts you down a little with the rest of the this album here, and I've just never really. I think, as a matter of fact, I'll skip that every now and then, which is kind of surprising because And I'm really having a tough time with this because even though I'm saying I don't like these songs, I do like them. The only one that I really do just is Run For Your Life. That one I have a tough time with. I really do. So on to the 11th question. Show the last Beatles item that you got, vinyl, CD, or memorabilia even. As you saw in my last video, I just got a copy of this, the Paul McCartney Royal Mint coin. And I got the colored version. I'll pull that out of the package so you can see it a little better there. But that would be my latest item. It's the latest. Technically, I think I've purchased something since, but this is the first time that I've got it in my possession that I've... Actually, no, I think this is the last purchase, too. So, there we go. Some memorabilia, which is rare for my collection. All right, and the next one is show the 12th question. Show an ongoing Beatles collection you are trying to complete. I'm going to show my cool crates here. Because I've had this great idea with these of doing this whole little collecting up and making my own little box set. I've technically got each of the colors of the cool crates. I'm not going to go nuts and purchase each one of the different variations of the cool crates with the same color cool crate. I wanted to collect and keep sealed with the hype sticker the Beatles albums from 2009 and up. I decided to fill in the cool crates with, you know, more than just those main albums. But I wanted to get, you know, the hype stickers. I ended up getting Canadian hype stickers because a lot of these are Canadian, and that's what these are. And I think they look pretty similar to the UK ones, but it was these ones that I really wanted, the Apple, the US ones. And I've been slowly trying to build that up. So you can see I got the 2 Canadian ones there with Abbey Road, Let It Be. There was Rubber Soul. There's the White Album, Past Masters. And then on top of it, making it even that much harder than just getting those, I wanted to get everything post 2009 that had, you know, a hype sticker and keep it sealed. And so there's like Beatles 1. So that way I've got the hype sticker kind of saved. Here's Sgt. Pepper's, the 50th anniversary. I think this is the single disc one and the hype sticker on it. I think, yeah, these are all the 50th anniversary or special editions. Abbey Road, the single disc with the hype sticker. Let It Be. This, I believe, is called the 50th, or not the 50th anniversary, but the special edition. There's the hype sticker on that one. Revolver with the hype sticker there. Oh, I guess I'm out of order here, but here's Please Please Me. I do got with the Apple one there. Hard Day's Night I've got there now too. Magical Mystery Tour. So a few more with the Apple sticker there. This one was a tricky one to find, but Live at the BBC with this little hype sticker there, even though it's just remastered and repackaged. So back to just the post 2009 issues. And doing this, I got searching eBay for sealed Beatles items and coming across other hype stickers. I did find this one of one with this really kind of unique pre-2009, so the jewel case one. So now I've decided too I'm going to get the jewel case stuff with any hype stickers that I can find. So I added that one to the collection too. But so basically I'm trying to find and get a collection of all the sealed CDs with the hype stickers. And it originally was the 2009 stereo issues and anything post in the new digi-sleeve packaging like this. And now it's turned into this whole, yeah, let's even find the old jewel case stuff with hype stickers, or just anything with hype stickers in general. But this is kind of where I'm at right now on it. So I'm chugging along, but still got a lot to go. But yeah, you see how cool they kind of fit in there. And then I'll just have these filled up with, you know, the sealed Beatles stuff. Moving on, as I don't want to make this too long. Let's see. Number 13 is show a prized possession item in your collection, Beatles item. This is kind of a question that actually started off my channel. I did a response video to Beatley Tone. I think it was celebrating either his 1,000 subscribers or 1 year on YouTube, one of those kind of milestones. And he had a little contest going, and it was show your favorite, most prized Beatles possession. And I'm going to stick with this answer. I think it's a good one. Let me find it here. I keep it tucked in my All Together Now documentary DVD, The Beatles Love Cirque du Soleil. And it is my ticket to Beatles Love Cirque du Soleil. And there you go. I got to see it on March 9th of 2009. And I had seat number C1. So if you're familiar with that theater, I know how that was. It was just an amazing seat. And I didn't know what seat I was getting. I love that you actually see the Mirage on there with the Beatles. So even the ticket, truly a cool ticket stub to hold on to. Most ticket stubs now are just so basic and boring. Not only kind of re-sparked my, not saying I ever lost my love for the Beatles, but they were just kind of on the back burner for a while. And that really sparked me into really getting into the Beatles again. And as you can see, it was March 9th, 2009. And what happened on September 9th of 2009? The stereo remasters came out. The in mono box came out. He kind of got that Beatles resurgence. So not only just seeing this and how cool was this show and how cool was this Beatles thing. A few months later, 6 months later, I get that stereo box set and just got so reintroduced to him. So this kind of started the spark, and then the stereo box set really ignited the flames, and I've been just nonstop since 2009. Oh yeah, section 106, row C, seat 1. Great seat. If you can find a chart of it, look it up. It was an amazing seat. You couldn't have got a better seat than that seat. 4 seats. I'm sorry, it was only 4 seats in that section of that row. And the other 2 that were sitting there with me, I can guarantee you dropped thousands of dollars in the casino to get their tickets. So they were high roller types, and here me and my buddy come bopping in, fresh off of a tour of the Hoover Dam earlier that morning. Probably not smelling too great because we were out in the desert all morning. And we didn't get time to get back with the traffic to get back and shower up and clean up before the show. So we're down there with the high rollers in that section of the theater. I'm just dumbfounded I ended up with tickets that great. That's part of, why I just cherish it, because of that memory that it gave me, what it sparked into. A 6 months later, half a year later, that box set comes out and really sparked my interest in, the Beatles packaging, the Beatles physical media again, and got me collecting again, because I'd already collected all the jewel case stuff pretty much. So that got me really going with what came after that. So yeah, that really made Beatle Dustino, that ticket. So there we go. Okay, and then number 14 is show your favorite Beatles or solo product of 2024. And I think I did the same answer for my favorite 2024, or my favorite purchase in 2024 for my CD tag, one that I did just a while ago. But it's the Mind Games Ultimate Mix, Ultimate Collection here. I absolutely love this, the deluxe box here, with all the different mixes of the Mind Games album and everything, and all the little hidden features. If you do use a Blu-ray, or not a Blu-ray light, there's Blu-ray disc in here too, I guess, but a blue light, you'll find all the little hidden Easter eggs throughout the box and the packaging and everything. And I haven't really got into the games aspect of the Mind Games here, but I have definitely let my mind enjoy all the mixes and all the different variations on the album there. And these Ultimate Collection packages that the John Lennon Estate puts out are just amazing. I think any year one of these puts out, it's going to be my top one of the year for any of those years. So yeah, that's it for this one. Moving on to number 15, and it's what is going to be I'm hoping will take its place in 2025 for that Mind Games one, and it's tell us what Beatles product you want to see in 2025. Yeah, I'm going to kind of go down that kind of list there. What I really want to see is the Rubber Soul Super Deluxe box set come out. I think we've all been waiting for it since Revolver came out 2 years ago. Has there been some disappointment with the Red and the Blue album getting released now and then, or re-released, reissued, remixed and expanded and whatnot, and now and then attached to it? I'm definitely not disappointed with Now and Then. Just that to attach it to was a little weird. Last year, not putting it down, but it was an odd choice. The 1964 US albums in mono. I think the stereo, to me, would have been more interesting with the reverb and everything. And the way that they did it, that Dave Dexter Jr. made those mixes, I think the stereo is more noticeable than the mono. And I think that's where I was kind of like, okay. I feel like they did the in mono just trying to make it, the in mono vinyl set is so in demand. I think that's why they chose that, thinking that even though it's the Dave Dexter Jr. mixes, which aren't as good as the in mono mixes on the other vinyl set. So anyways, I've been a little put off by them, even though I have really enjoyed them. So don't get me wrong on that. I know I kind of moan and complain a little, but I have enjoyed what's came out. I just really have wanted them to complete remixing the albums. I think we were all expecting that. I think we see what's happening with the archive collection, which will be another one that I could say on this too, is I'd love to see a London Town archive or Back to the Egg archive. I think we've seen that that's completely stalled out and isn't happening, and now it feels like the Beatles are also doing the same thing as Paul is doing. And so, we've had, those wonderful remixed 50th anniversary / special edition packages, Sgt. Pepper's, the White Album, Let It Be, Abbey Road, I missed Abbey Road, sorry, and Revolver. And I think we thought logically Rubber Soul would be kind of the next one, and then kind of go from there. And then, will they ever do Magical Mystery Tour, Yellow Submarine? How are they going to fit those in there somehow? Past Masters, the stuff from that. So we'll see. I don't know. And it feels like it's going to get abandoned, like the Paul stuff. I always say you got to have hope. If Star Wars taught me anything, is to have hope. And I kind of am starting to see that with this, but I don't know what they would do this year. I guess nothing's really out of the question, but I'm really going to stick with the Rubber Soul Super Deluxe box. And kind of in second place, I'd say the archive collection returning in some form. I'd love to see that happen too. As I feel like I'm making this too long, that's going to be my answers to the 15 questions here for Patricia at the Little Beatles Corner. Yeah, a Little Beatles Corner. I got it right off the top of my head there. How about that? I've watched several of her shows, so I should know it a little better. But yeah, go check out her video. Go make your answer to it. I suppose if you don't get a video, just go to her original episode there and give your answers in the comments there. Leave your answers in my comments too, so I get engagement too. But I also want to really promote her channel too. So anyways, I'm going to get fully signing out though. Before that though, I do want to thank all my subscribers, and thanks to any new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And do hit the notification bell so you know when I got new videos coming out. Also, please give the video a like. It really does help out the channel. And like I always say, if you've stuck around to this point, you must like it. So please give it a like and do leave a comment. I love having a discussion with everybody. Again, let me know your thoughts on these answers. What do you think of my answers? Go check out her channel too. I'll have the link in the description below here. And give your answers to her also, please. Check out everybody else's videos that are coming out on this, because I'm sure there's going to be several of them coming out. I know there was last year when, I think it was Rachel's Ghost did it last year. So, and I know she had quite a few responses. I remember I made a video on that one too. So anyways, I'm going to get fully signing out. I am Beatle Dustino, signing out.